thanks for the support as a channel member, Dave Beasley. I feel dirty even talking to you about this, but after a long-term injury to our only real attacking midfielder, Sammy Schmodix, we've abandoned our 4-2-3-1 attacking system. We're doing a counter-attacking system, and it's working. And we might be able to secure the playoffs today doing defensive football. And I feel unclean. Hello and welcome to Club 2, Part 4 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our final two games of the regular league season. We're away against Crewe and Wickham. Neither of them particularly challenging opponents, 11th and 12th place, but being away from home is a challenge in and of itself. Since you were last with me, as mentioned, we've switched to a 4-2-3-1 counter-attacking system with which we've managed to grind out a 1-1 draw, a 1-0 win, and another 1-0 win. We're so defensive-minded. We played a friendly against local side Deeping Rangers and only beat them 2-0. I mean, this is all because we picked up an injury to Sammy Schmodix. He picked up a hip injury. He's going to be out, probably missing the start of next season as well. He was one of our best players. He's our attacking midfielder. He was our attacking talisman. And without him, this system just doesn't work. He's also one of the highest paid players at the club. As we start to look ahead for the plans for next year, it's Schmodix and Clark Harris who are the two who we've got to take a long look at and think, can we afford those luxuries if we don't get promoted? And I think the answer is no. If we're still in this league next year, we have to get rid of them both to allow us to rebuild this squad. If we get promoted, hopefully we'll get a little bit more wage budget to spend. I've had a few people say it's the wage cap that's causing this to happen. It definitely isn't the wage cap, because the wage cap, where is the wage cap? We don't see it on there, do we? We have to go to the registration screen to see the wage cap, I think. But if we go to the registration screen, the wage cap at 48,000, we're spending 32 on our first team squad. So yeah, I get why they're saying that's the wage budget. But I don't know if this is a bug in the game, because the wage cap shouldn't be that. The way the wage cap works, that's a wage cap for the 20 over 21 players we put in our first team squad. Young players shouldn't be contributing towards the wage cap, as they're not on this screen. Players not in the squad shouldn't be contributing to the wage cap. So in theory, we should have an extra £16,000 a week to spend on wages, but we don't, because it's counting all these other wages in the actual wage budget. I think the wage cap thing is broken. I've also had a couple of people say, Kev, I don't like it when you do these friendlies mid-season. I do them a lot at times, especially on international breaks, and I'll justify doing them, as I always do. My club, Peterborough United, we do this in real life all the time. I don't know if this is just a thing that only Peterborough do, but as far as I'm aware, it's quite a common thing. It always has been for Peterborough to arrange friendlies against local sides during the season. For years, we didn't have a reserve team. We just arranged friendlies when we had gaps to play, to allow our younger players, our fringe players, to get game time. And it's sort of a dual purpose of keeping players fit on international breaks, and also allowing us to get back into form, trying out new systems. We've got the 4-3-3 counter-attacking system that we're trying to learn as we approach the playoffs. So yeah, we're going to fit some friendlies in. The more football we can play in this system, the better. And I personally don't see that it's a problem. Some people don't like it. I'm not going to stop doing it. I think it's fine, and I think it's well within the realms of realism. And the response I always get is, well, Manchester United don't do it. Oh, we're not Manchester United. We're Peterborough United, and Peterborough United do it. So let's win some football matches. This is the new system. It is a fluid counter-attacking system. The one thing I keep forgetting to add on permanently is play for set pieces. I keep adding it on mid-game, so we'll add play for set pieces on as well, because we've got our two big lads at the back, and it's very much built around our midfield three. Our midfield three are very good. McCormick has come in and been an excellent signing. Bearing in mind he was just available as a free transfer, I think he's been a really, really good signing and has fitted straight into this midfield and allowed us to do a system like this with three midfield players in, dropping Reed back into the deep line playmaker role. So we're very solid defensively with the back four that we've got. I mean, our defence is very much our strength. Reed is very good in front of them as well. And then McCormick and Taylor have both got the attacking oomph to get up there and break quickly with Solomon, with Gooch and with Hector Ingram or Clark Harris up front, depending on who's fit at the time. Clark Harris is currently injured as well. He's going to be out for the next 4 days or so. So he'll be back for the next game, but does miss this one. We do need to win. If you look at the league table, 2 games remaining. We're 1 point clear of Rotherham. Should we have a look to see who Rotherham are playing? In fact, we can do that from this screen. Rotherham are at home against Shrewsbury. Shrewsbury are top of the league. Hopefully Rotherham are going to lose that. That would be nice. Talking of top of the league, by the way, Kettering already champions in the league below. So we've got to get promoted or we're going to be in the same team as Kettering next year. So our team for the Crew game: Amos in goal, a back four of Blake, Tracy, Anderson, Sykes and Turton. Reed in front of the back four. Learn your words, Kev. And then McCormick and Taylor ahead of him. Solomon Otterbohr and Gooch supporting Hector Ingram up front. Let's get into the game. Let's grind out a 1-0 because it seems to be all we're able to do these days. And if that's the way we have to get ourselves into the championship, that's the way we'll get ourselves into the championship, because I think championship wages and losing the League One wage cap is the only way we're going to be able to have a significant rebuild of this team. And it might be that we go up, do the rebuild, might not stay up, but come back down with a stronger squad so that we can go up properly and then stay up. And that wouldn't be an unusual way for Posh to do things. And we've certainly never spent very long in the championship when we've got promoted in the past. So I don't think it would be a devastating outcome to go up, come back down, go back up again, if it allows us to have a proper go at this league with a proper squad. Because frustratingly, it's a very strong Peterborough squad at the start of the save. If you watched my Twitch save with Posh when the beta first came out, you'll know that we won League One as champions first time out, because it is a very, very strong squad. And they've kind of, the successive AI managers have disassembled that squad and left me with something that's not great, that definitely needs fixing. Right, we're pointing the finger. We're not happy with the performance out there, although as it stands at the moment, we are still in 6th place. So performance, pushmorshmensch, it's all about where we end up in the league. If we end up in those playoffs, who cares how we get there? That's the bottom line. The board are looking for me to just finish mid-table, so we've overperformed already. And Bristol Rovers have fallen out of the playoffs, which is nice, because it means we're not going to underperform against the team that I've managed at this stage of non-league to legend the last 2 years. Solomon Otterbohr has picked up an injury, so we're just going to make that change and stick Gooch out onto the left-hand side. Ward can come on and play on the right-hand side. I think it's time to encourage the team. And we're not really creating very much, but then this system's not set up to create. It's set up to catch them on the break every now and again and maybe score a set piece. That's all it's about. We're going to bring Flynn Clark on, who has scored a goal from this position, being 0-0 late on in the game and coming on. He scored, was it in the last game or the one before? I'd have to check. But he has scored recently from a position like this. Jack Taylor, not playing very well either, so Ryan Broom can come on in midfield as a different attacking option in there. And we're going to demand more. We're looking for a goal, but we're not going to look too expansively. We're much happier keeping things tight and catching the goal if it comes, because at the moment we've moved up to 5th. Rotherham, I guess, drawing in their game. They are drawing against Shrewsbury. Luton must be losing theirs. So if we can pick up this point, it's not fancy. I certainly don't feel good doing it this way, but we're one step closer to the playoffs. We've picked up a 0-0. It's not Kev ball, is it? But we did drop back down again. So Rotherham did win in the end over Shrewsbury by the looks of it to move above us. But luckily Luton lost. So we're doing it by default based on a better goal difference. We've still gotta cling on in our last game of the season coming up now. And we've got to do it without our star man, Viv Solomon Otterbohr. Or maybe not, because he's miraculously fit. Not like fit. He's some way short of full fitness, but he can play. So Solomon Otterbohr plays. Clark Harris also back from his injury, so he comes straight back into the team, potentially for his last game for the club. If we don't get promoted, we have to move him on. We can't be spending £6,000 a week on a player who only scores 10 goals a season. He's earning so much more than any other player at this club. I'd let him go for whatever anyone offered him. We don't need transfer money. If someone wants to take him for 100,000 and pay all his wages, we'd let him go for that, just so I can spend that £6 million transfer budget that we've got, that we can't play at the moment, that we can't spend at the moment because we've got no wage budget. Just losing him brings us back within our wage budget. So no pressure or anything, Johnson, but if you want to stay at Posh, you need to score a couple of goals today and get us into the playoffs, because that gets us one step closer to you maybe being allowed to stay. But realistically, 10-goal a season striker isn't sticking around in the Premier League either. Is that Conor O'Malley, former Peterborough goalkeeper, in goal for Wickham? Because if it is, hopefully he'll let his former club get promoted, or at least get into the playoffs. That'd be very nice. McCormick plays it forward to Clark Harris. Clark Harris playing Gooch in. Gooch has got himself into a good position here. Plays it back to Turton. Cross comes over looking for Solomon, who maybe if he's fully fit, he gets there. Cross comes back in for Jack Taylor, though. It hits the underside of the crossbar, and Wickham scramble it clear. That was very close to breaking the deadlock there, and we're not going to get many chances like that. You saw our XG in the last game. You saw how unambitious this system is. We don't get a lot of chances. We've got to take them when we get them. And I feel like we probably needed to take that one. Confirmation it is Conor O'Malley in goal for Wickham. So hopefully he remembers what side his bread's buttered. Blake Tracy with the cross, looking for Johnson. Clark Harris at the near post. Can't find him. And now Wickham have got the breakaway. Anderson with a beautiful tackle. What a player he is. I think he's one that we might struggle to keep hold of in the summer, because he is so good and should be playing at a higher level. And if it's not for us, then he'll have to go off and play for somebody else. Luton are losing to Bristol Rovers, though. My favourite team, Bristol Rovers, doing us a favour here and keeping Luton below us. Portsmouth are the other team who could leap above us, so we do need to be keeping an eye on them as well. Let's pump the fists, send the boys back out again for the second half. Who are Portsmouth playing? Portsmouth, I'm in highlights. Cross comes in and it's Sykes with the header, but it's straight at O'Malley in goal for Wickham. I want to see what's going on in the Portsmouth game. I don't want us to lose out at the last minute after 2 0-0 draws. If we have to get a little bit more expansive, we will. I just don't know that this squad's got it in them, to be honest. I don't think we've got much in the way of attacking oomph anywhere in the squad. We do need a massive refresh. Rotherham beating Swindon 3-0. Rotherham are already above us, aren't they? I think they went above us in the last game. Anderson with a big header clear. Lovely clearance from him. But it just goes straight back to a Wickham player, and they're keeping the attack going. Cross comes over, but Amos doing a good job of keeping it out. What we might have to do next year, if we don't get promoted, is do a few more transfers with the Ben Amos system, where they're loans, where we're just paying big loan fees and not much in the way of salaries. Portsmouth are drawing 0-0. I just noticed as I scrolled down there. I didn't get to catch who they were playing, but it is still 0-0 in their game as well. Ball cleared. I think he's looking for Solomon, but doesn't find him. And with 30 minutes to go, it's Wickham who look much more likely to score a goal at this point. And Solomon probably needs to come off. He is tiring quick. You can't see because he's behind my head, but we'll let this highlight happen, and then we're going to bring Joe Ward on for Solomon like we did in the last game. Big throw from Turton, and Clark Harris is there. It's set piece o'clock, boys and girls. Huge long throw. Wickham have got to take a look at themselves. This is Conor O'Malley doing us a favour, because there's no way he should just be ignoring that. He can just pluck that out the sky. He lets it land on Clark Harris's foot. Clark Harris is 3 yards out, dead centre in the goal, and has a tap in. Terrible defending from Wickham. I'm taking it, though. We are taking Solomon off now. Joe Ward is on for him, and now we just need to defend. We are defensively solid in this system. Now we need to prove it. Blake Tracy with the headed clearance, but it didn't go very far, and Wickham continuing their ongoing goal threat, which is a worry. I don't like the fact that they're a goal threat, but we just need to keep defending as well as we have done recently. It's so alien to me playing this kind of system, but if it gets us promoted, then it gets us promoted. That works for me. Right, I want to take Jack Taylor off, but Ryan Broom is not on the bench today. Ridiculous. Why is he not on the bench? How are we doing for fitness? Right, I don't want to make... I haven't got Gaz Key because he's picked up an injury, so I can't bring him on at left back. We've got a lot of very similar players who aren't very good up front, but can play out on the wing, which basically means they tried to be a striker, weren't very good at it, but they still like to get game time, and that's not really the kind of player we're looking for in this circumstance. Especially when, Tazdemir could play on the left, Hector Ingham could play on the left. I think we're just going to stick with what we've got for a few minutes at the moment. We don't have to make a substitution. It shows how thin this squad is. For a squad that's maxed out on salary, we don't have much in the way of options from that bench. McCormick playing it out to Ward. Ward, if we can grab another goal here, that'd be amazing. And Ward's won a penalty, I think. And it's going to be Gooch to take the penalty again, who's been very hit and miss with these. He's certainly scored one in a video, but has missed a couple as well. It's Gooch to put us 2-0 up, and he does. And I think we're going to the playoffs, boys and girls. A 7th goal of the season for Lyndon Gooch. It's Wickham 0, Peterborough 2. And surely we're not going to concede 2 goals from here. We're too good defensively at the moment to concede 2 goals from this kind of situation. Getting back to the squad depth thing, I remember our chairman, El Presidente, in real life talking about the wage cap this summer, because there were a few question marks about why we strengthened certain areas of our team and not others. And his honest answer that he gave was, with the salary cap, you can't have top players in every position in League One anymore. If you want to focus on one area, and in real life, we focused on the attack, which is why you've got Clark, Harris and Schmodix earning the money that they've got. As big money signings. But if you're going to have big money signings and focus on the attack, it does mean you have to have slightly lesser quality, maybe in some other positions. And that's definitely the route we went down in real life, finding some cheaper options at the back. And it seems like this version of Posh in game have done the reverse. They've focused all the investment and quality on the defence in recent years, whilst still keeping the expensive attackers in, but neglecting the attack as players have been sold. And really neglecting the midfield as players have been sold, and it's left the squad very unbalanced, which is why I'm being forced into doing this counter-attacking system that I hate, but it's working. And McCormick, his first ever goal for Peterborough in the 93rd minute, and we're in the playoffs. It's Wickham 1, Peterborough 2. What a delightful Christmas present this could turn out to be. If you're watching this in the summer, I apologise, but for the rest of us, it's the 22nd of December, and we're now dreaming of a Christmas Eve playoff final, because if we get there tomorrow, that's exactly what we're going to have, and that would be amazing. But obviously we have a job to do first, because now we're in the playoffs. We've got to get through the semi-finals of them. In real life, we do have a very good track record in the playoffs. Never lost a final, never lost at Wembley. We do have one semi-final exit in the playoffs to our name, though. So we need to make sure that we don't do that again. My word, it's Shrewsbury that we're going to play. Shrewsbury, who looked like they were going to be champions for so long, and have just collapsed. We're taking the team who are out of form. If we look at their... Oh, my word. Shrewsbury have lost 4 on the bounce. They've lost 6 of their last 8. They've only won 1 in 8. They've only won 2 in 10. We've not really got any excuses, have we? We've got to be getting through this playoff semi-final tomorrow. Shrewsbury have fallen apart. And that is going to be tomorrow's video. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.